Hi guys, well, you guys asked about this knife, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about this knife. This is my last video, or I don't know, a couple videos ago, whatever it was, happened to be. I don't know when I posted things, but this is a customized Spyderco Resilience. And first of all, very cool knife. It's a large, basically it's a large tenacious, that's all. Part of the tenacious series, but it's the largest one. Fits really well in the hand. I don't care how big your hand is. There's a lot of handle here to play around with. Liner lock, so happens to be nice and centered. Extremely sharp. This one happens to have a custom wave feature cut into it and custom scales. That's what kind of throwing people off with the scales. They didn't know what the knife was. But this came from Forrest the Knife Guy, and I'm doing this video because he sent me this knife and for me to check it out and wanted to get some feedback on it. So I'm going to give some constructive criticism to these scales. He also does a sharpening service. Now, I don't, personally use him for a sharpening service because I sharpen my own knives, and I cannot attest to what the service is going to be like overall besides the edge that's on this knife. In other words, I'm going to give the information for him. If you want to send knives to sharpen, to have him sharpen for you, you can feel free to do that, but I have no personal experience besides this specific knife he sent me. I can tell you this specific edge is sharper than factory. He did a very nice job. I mean, you can see the polish on it. You can see glistening right there in the light. He put a fantastic edge on this. Really, really nice. I'm not sure what system or process he goes through with this sharpening, but I can tell you this one is much sharper than the factory edge on there. So I'd be very happy with his services if that's what what it's like. But I can't contest that. So if you want to take a chance, and throw him some business, then you can certainly do so. But that would be between you and him. I can't, I can't back his work, in other words. But what I can tell you is he did a perfect job on this wave feature. Okay, so if you have a cheaper knife, you don't mind cutting up a little bit, something like this, maybe have a tenacious or something else in that line, the Resilience. This particular design happens to work very, very, very well. When I first looked at it, I thought, oh, cool, homemade wave, whatever. And I tried it out. I'm like, wow, that really works. That works great. Now, looking at it design-wise, I would, personally prefer probably a more rounded edge here. But honestly, after using this particular one, I'm not going to touch it because it works beautifully. It works just as good as any kind of, Emerson specific wave feature, that my Spyderco waved endures and delicas I've used before. It works flawlessly every single time. It hasn't skipped a beat, hasn't missed catching material or anything. This specific design works fantastic. All right, so if you do have a cheaper knife, you don't mind, like I said, getting cut up, you may want to ask him what it would cost for that service if you don't want to do it yourself. Now, I mean, it's a very straightforward thing, but not everyone has tools or the capability of doing this themselves, so that's why they send it off for other people to do for them. But as far as the wave feature, perfect, absolutely perfect on this. The scales, they're very cool. These little bumps and stuff, they're not by accident. They're purposely put there as part of the design. Said he wanted to experiment a little bit. They don't do anything for me specifically. It looks kind of like bubbles in the scale. They don't change the grip or anything like that for me. I mean, you just want to be different, do something differently. Overall, it's not horrible, but there's definitely room for improvement and some things. Basically, all he really needs to do is kind of clean up what's already been done. In other words, the overall shape and design he put on the scales, I mean, it matches the knife, obviously. But, certain areas like here, you can see the overlapping, where you just might want to clean it up a little bit, come in and sand that so it is perfectly even with the handles. Also, I would remove the handles and clean up all the holes and stuff as well before you reassemble it. Just certain spots, look over here, you can see where just the drill marks, you might want to clean those areas up a little bit. And you could probably do that, with a, they sell specific bits for beveling and stuff like that, and that would probably be really good. Basically, a countersinking bit would clean up your holes very nicely around the hardware. But overall, he did a great job. I mean, he's not someone who's been doing this for years and years, so for beginner's work, it's not bad at all. But if you are interested in something like scales, I mean, you may want to get pictures and stuff before you actually buy anything. But pretty interesting, very cool. I mean, I've been playing with it a lot. Because the scales aren't perfect, I have no problem actually using the knife, you know, using it hard and not worrying about scratching. I mean, it came with these kind of scratches and stuff in the scales, so I'm kind of, you know, being rough with it, testing it out, and they've held on fine, you know, as far as, you know, the quality of the scales. They work very beautifully. They just need to be cleaned up a little bit. You could tell, it, you know, it's not a professional doing it, someone who's new to it. But for being new, it's still impressive work in general. So I think you're on your way to being a really good, you know, knife customizer. You knocked out the wave feature perfectly. Like I said, I mean, you know, visually, I'd want to clean that up, but after using it, like I said, I'm not going to, because it's perfect. It works perfectly. You know, catches material every single time. I mean, it's beautiful. So, and you know, more importantly than anything, he doesn't have a business customizing knives. He started his own little sharpening business. And if we're talking about just sharpening, and this is his work, then yes, I'm impressed. Very impressed with that edge. So you can see that nice polish glistening there. So there you go, that's what that knife is. It's from Forrest here on YouTube. I'll put his information in the description below if you want to contact him and see what he charges for different things. But very cool. So he sent me the knife to try out, and I'm trying it out. It's a very cool knife. Like I said, wave feature works perfectly. The edge you put on here is ridiculously awesome. Just needs some improvement on those scales. And it's nothing like, you know, above and beyond. All you have to do is basically clean up the work you already did. So I think you did a good job. So thank you very much, Forrest, for letting me check that out. Everyone who was interested in seeing what that knife was in that video, that's what it is. It's a customized Spyderco Resilience. So that's all. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a great day, and I will see you soon. Take care.